Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sleepless After Dark. Tonight we're diving into the story of the Titanic. So get cozy, get comfortable, and get ready for a peaceful night's sleep. Before you close your eyes, it would mean the world if you liked this video and subscribed. That way, you'll never miss a sleepy disaster story. And if you're still awake, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from or how your day went. I always read them. The year is 1912. You're standing on the edge of the docks in Southampton, boots caked in damp mud. The morning fog hangs low and soft, muting the sound of horses and footsteps on cobblestones. Somewhere, a steam whistle calls out across the water, low, steady, and patient. Your suitcase is heavy. The handle presses into your palm as you shift your weight from foot to foot, caught between anticipation and awe. You tilt your head upward. There she is, the RMS Titanic, gleaming white hull, 4 towering funnels, rows of windows that sparkle in the dull morning light. She doesn't look like a ship. She looks like a city turned sideways. Too big, too grand to fit on water. Your breath catches a little. You hadn't expected her to be this large. The air smells of coal smoke and sea salt tinged with fresh paint and worn leather. Dock workers shout across the quay, wheeling carts and trunks, lifting crates onto the gangway. Children dart between legs. A woman with a wide-brimmed hat clutches her gloves tightly, eyes fixed on the ship as though trying to memorize it. Beside you, a couple murmurs in French. Behind you, someone sneezes. Your coat flaps in a cool breeze. And still, your eyes keep returning to the ship. It's almost time. Your ticket is tucked into your breast pocket. You press your fingers against it. First class, or perhaps third, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you're here, and she's real, and soon you'll be aboard. A small brass band plays somewhere near the ramp, cheerful, restrained. The melody drifts like mist. As you walk toward the gangplank, the wooden boards shift beneath your feet. Your boots thud softly. Step by step, you leave the gray of Southampton behind. A steward greets you with a nod, checks your ticket, and gestures forward. And then, just like that, you're inside. Warmth, polished oak paneling, gleaming brass fixtures, the gentle, ever-present hum of the ship's heart. Voices echo in corridors, laughter, the clink of luggage wheels, the deep, distant rhythm of footsteps on deck above. You're aboard the Titanic, and the journey is only beginning. The gangway falls away behind you, swallowed by the stillness of the grand interior. The sounds of the port, the shouting, the carts, the horses, fade into memory, replaced by something else. Quiet elegance. The first corridor you enter is softly lit, trimmed with glossy wood paneling. Brass sconces flicker gently, casting warm golden halos along the wall. Everything smells faintly of polish, clean linens, and the salty breath of the sea. Your shoes make a muffled click on the linoleum floor. A steward walks by in his crisp uniform, nodding politely. He disappears through a side door, leaving only the sound of distant voices echoing faintly down the hall. You walk slowly, your hand brushing the polished railing, letting your senses soak it in. The Titanic is not just a ship, she's a floating city, a cathedral, a dream, built from steel and steam and very, very high expectations. You pass into the grand staircase. It takes your breath away. Carved oak, crystal light fixtures, a wrought iron and glass dome above, spilling soft daylight onto the ornate balustrade. The centerpiece is a clock set into a wood panel, two carved figures beneath it, poised like guardians of time. Everything feels still, suspended. You descend a step, then another. The carpet gives under your foot like velvet moss. Voices murmur on the level below. You can hear a woman laughing, high and delicate. Silverware clinks against porcelain. A steward hurries past with a tray of scones and steaming tea. It's like stepping into a hotel. A palace, even. Depending on your ticket, your path branches here. First-class passengers stroll into the reading rooms or the palm court, where ivy climbs trellises and delicate sandwiches wait on polished plates. If you're second class, the atmosphere is a little more practical. Simpler wood paneling, fewer chandeliers, but still spotless, orderly, warm. And if you're third class, you follow the stairwell downward, deeper into the belly of the ship, where the walls hum with the rhythm of the engines and pipes tick behind metal grates. Still, there's comfort here. Clean bunks, hot food, laughter from Irish and Scandinavian families sharing stories. Children chase each other in the passageway. Someone tunes a fiddle. The ship, it seems, has room for every story. Eventually, you make your way up, outside. The promenade deck stretches ahead of you. Endless, gleaming white railings flanked by rows of teak chairs. A breeze lifts your collar. You lean forward and watch the sea roll past in slow motion, just beyond the edge of the world. Southampton is fading behind you now. All that's ahead is open water. You walk slowly along the deck. The ship is steady, impossibly so. You can barely feel the motion beneath your feet. It's like walking through a painting. Overhead, gulls wheel and cry. The sky is pale blue. The funnels rise beside you, bold and silent. You pass other passengers. A man in a bowler hat paces near the railing. A pair of children bounce a rubber ball against the wall. A woman adjusts her hat, her scarf fluttering like a whisper. Someone says the Titanic is unsinkable. You don't question it. Why would you? You pass under a row of lifeboats. They look small, insignificant. You don't give them much thought. Down below, somewhere behind thick walls and layers of steel, the stokers are working. Coal shovels scrape and clang. The engines beat like a steady drum, slow, powerful, alive. The ship pushes forward, carving her way through the Atlantic like a dream moving through fog. Eventually, you return inside. The dining rooms are being set. Dinner isn't for a while, but already the staff are folding napkins, polishing silver, preparing white tablecloths like the stage of a play. Everything is calm, everything is perfect. You find your room. Your name is handwritten on a small tag hanging from the knob. You step inside and close the door behind you. Your bag is waiting. The bed is neatly made. You sit. You exhale. For the first time all day, you let yourself believe it. You're on the Titanic, and your journey has begun. You step out onto the deck again just before dinner. The air is crisp. The sky is beginning to shift, softening, deepening. A blush of amber spreads across the western horizon, turning the clouds to velvet and gold. The ocean catches it all, turning the waves into ribbons of molten copper. It's April 14th, Sunday evening. You don't know it, but this is the last sunset the Titanic will ever see. But right now, there's no reason to think about endings. Right now, everything is still beautiful. You pull your coat tighter. The sea air bites, just a little. The Titanic's engines hum steadily beneath your feet. A group of people stroll by, chatting in low tones, their footsteps echoing against the deck boards. The breeze lifts the edges of your sleeves. You hear the ship's bell in the distance, a soft, hollow clang like the voice of the ship itself, calm and sure. The North Atlantic stretches endlessly around you. No land in sight, just the vast rolling plain of water, darker now beneath the dusk. You rest your hands on the railing, leaning into the moment, the salt tang on your lips, the glow of the sunset painting your skin. Far out on the water, a faint glimmer catches your eye. Is it another ship? An iceberg? You blink. It's gone. Just a trick of light. The sea plays games like that. A steward appears behind you, nods, and gently announces that dinner will be served shortly. You thank him and make your way back inside. The warmth of the ship wraps around you like a woolen shawl. Inside, the lights are brighter now. The evening has begun. First-class passengers gather in their finest tuxedos, silk gowns, white gloves. The dining saloon is aglow with light and laughter. Champagne flutes sparkle. The sound of music drifts faintly from the lounge, a waltz, played softly on the grand piano. Elsewhere in second class, the mood is more modest but still warm. Roast beef, soup, wine for those who want it. Children fidget at the tables. Conversation ebbs and flows. And below, in third class, it's Sunday dinner. Hearty stew, fresh bread, mugs of tea. Families eat together. Someone pulls out a harmonica. A young man starts to sing in Gaelic. and soon the whole table joins in. Someone taps a spoon against a cup in rhythm. You eat, you talk, you laugh. The world outside grows darker. The stars begin to gather. Later, you slip away from the crowd and find your way back up to the deck. The sky is astonishing. So many stars, you can't count them. A frozen glitter spilled across the blackness. No clouds, no moon, just the clearest, deepest sky you've ever seen. The Milky Way stretches overhead like a highway of light. The sea is still now, uncannily so. No wind, no waves, just silence. The ship glides forward like a phantom. You press your hand to the railing again. It's cold now. The metal bites. Somewhere below, the lookouts climb into the crow's nest. You can just see them. Dark shapes against the stars. They scan the horizon, alert, but relaxed. No one is expecting anything. The ship is quiet, peaceful, unsinkable. At the bridge, officers chat quietly. One of them checks the temperature. It's just dropped below freezing. No one finds that unusual. After all, it's the North Atlantic in April. Some passengers are still walking the deck, but fewer now. Most have gone to bed. The ship feels like it's tucking itself in for the night. Soft, warm, expectant. You stay for a few more minutes, just breathing, just watching the stars. The ship's funnel rises beside you, tall and still, etched in moonlight. A wisp of smoke curls upward and disappears into the sky. You close your eyes, listen. There's nothing but the hush of the sea against the hull. The soft creak of the deck, the occasional murmur of distant voices. The heartbeat of the greatest ship ever built. Everything is calm. So calm. You go back inside, unaware of how close the ice really is, unaware that the lookouts have no binoculars tonight, unaware that the radio operator just missed a warning. You slip into bed, pull the blanket to your chin. The hum of the ship soothes you. You sleep. It's just before midnight when you wake up. Not with a start, not with panic, just awareness. A slight shift in balance, a change in rhythm, like the ship took a breath and held it. You sit up in bed, blinking in the dark. The room is still. The lamp on the wall flickers faintly. You hear a low, distant sound, not loud, not sharp, just wrong. Something has shifted. You pull on your coat and step into the corridor. Other passengers are doing the same, quietly, curiously. Nobody's panicking, just confused, sleepy. A steward passes by, buttoning his jacket. "No need to worry," he says with a polite smile. "We've just had a bit of a bump." You follow the current of people heading up the stairs toward the deck. It's colder now, sharply so. As you emerge into the night, the air hits your face like ice. You look around, expecting what? A storm? A fire? But everything looks normal, except for the silence. The engines have stopped. There is no thrum beneath your feet, no vibration, no familiar heartbeat. The Titanic, for the first time, feels still. And then you see it. An officer is walking swiftly along the deck, speaking quietly to the crew. The lookouts descend from the crow's nest. There's urgency in their movements now, not alarm, not yet, but purpose. You edge forward to the rail and glance down. There, glinting in the starlight, is a trail of jagged white. Ice. An iceberg. Huge, black, silent. It's already behind you. You never even saw it coming. You overhear fragments of conversation. She's torn the hull. 6 compartments, maybe more. She can't stay afloat. Surely not. Someone laughs, nervously, disbelieving. Titanic is unsinkable. Everyone knows that. Everyone. But down below, in the mail room, water is already flooding in. Sacks of letters floating like ghosts. In the boiler rooms, men scramble to shut the watertight doors. The sea is pouring in fast. You step back from the rail. People are beginning to murmur now. Some return to their cabins, others linger. A steward reassures an elderly couple. A child yawns and clings to her mother's skirts. A quiet announcement is made. Please put on your life vests and proceed to the deck. This is only a precaution. Only a precaution. But the crew are moving faster now. And when you return to your room, you find the life vest laid neatly on your bed, like it's been waiting for you. You put it on. The canvas is stiff. The straps bite against your ribs. It doesn't feel real. None of this does. How could it? The Titanic can't sink, can it? Back on deck, the lifeboats are being uncovered. Ropes creak. Officers shout instructions. But still, no one is panicking. Not really. There's music playing. The band has assembled again, this time outside. Soft, steady tunes, familiar hymns, something to calm the nerves, something to pretend everything's fine. You clutch the railing. The ship lists, just slightly. You feel it now. The angle is changing. The bow is dipping almost imperceptibly, but enough to unsettle your sense of balance. A group of men light cigarettes, hands shaking. A woman prays quietly, rosary beads clicking in her fingers. Somewhere, a baby starts to cry. It's all happening slowly, dreamlike, like the world has been dipped in syrup. You look up at the stars again. They're still there, still beautiful, unconcerned. And the iceberg, gone, swallowed by the sea behind you. The crew is lowering the first lifeboats now, half full, mostly women and children. Some refuse to get in. It's colder out there, they say. We're better off staying aboard. The Titanic looms behind them, massive and glowing. It doesn't look like it's dying, but it is. You tighten the straps on your life vest. A new sound reaches your ears. Something low and guttural far beneath your feet. The groaning of metal under pressure. Titanic is beginning to strain, you take a step back, then another. The ship is still calm, still beautiful, still so full of light. But time is running out, and soon the water will rise. You lose track of how long you've been standing there. Minutes, an hour. The night stretches out, heavy and endless, and the ship, once so full of life, is beginning to feel like a ghost. People gather in clusters now, wrapped in blankets, holding hands. The deck is slick with frost. Every breath curls white in the air. A man offers his coat to a shivering stranger. Another paces back and forth, eyes darting toward the lifeboats. One by one they vanish into the dark, lowered slowly on ropes, creaking as they descend into the blackness below. You watch them go, half empty. People still don't believe, still think this is temporary, that the ship will fix herself, that help is coming. It isn't. The wireless operators are sending out distress signals. CQD, SOS, CQD. But there's no reply, not yet. Only silence. You hear a loud clang, metal on metal, and turn toward the stern. A stack of deck chairs has toppled. The tilt of the ship is steeper now. You can feel it in your knees, in your spine. It's happening slowly, but undeniably. The Titanic is sinking. A woman screams, it's sharp, jarring, the first real crack in the calm. An officer tries to hush her, but it's too late. Panic is blooming now, like a ripple spreading across a still pond. The crowd stirs, people push forward, someone yells for a lifeboat, another demands to be let through. The calm is unraveling, and still, the band plays. They've moved again, this time closer to the grand staircase. Waltzes, hymns, fragments of familiar melodies, music threading through the chaos like a lullaby. You hold on to the railing, steadying yourself as the angle increases. Some passengers rush for the boats, others hesitate. A few still believe it's all a drill. You see a man argue with an officer, waving his ticket in the air like it matters. Another tries to bribe his way into a boat. The officer shakes his head. Women and children only. A young boy is lifted over the rail, bundled into a lifeboat by his mother. She hesitates for a second, maybe two, and then climbs in after him. The boat creaks, ropes strain. It descends. You hear someone sobbing, then shouting, then gunfire. A sharp crack in the night, then another. Your heart jolts. Not everyone is staying calm now. A group surges forward, officers push them back. Orders are shouted. The deck is no longer orderly. The panic is spreading. You retreat a few steps, eyes scanning for another way out. But there aren't many lifeboats left. Most are gone now, drifting silently into the dark, vanishing into the void. The Titanic groans. It's the sound of steel tearing, a deep, primal noise that vibrates through your bones. The front of the ship is almost underwater now. You can feel it. the bow dipping lower, the stern beginning to rise. The deck tilts beneath your feet. People stumble, some fall. It's happening faster now. Lights flicker. Somewhere below, a generator sparks. You move with the crowd, but it's harder now. The slope is steep. Every step feels like a climb. A lifeboat hangs crooked from its ropes, jammed halfway down. A woman clings to the side. A man tries to reach her, but slips and slides across the deck, his shout swallowed by the wind. You grip the railing. All around you, the Titanic is unraveling. A man is reciting the Lord's Prayer. Another kisses a photograph. Two strangers hold hands. And through it all, the music plays. You look up. The stars haven't moved. Indifferent, cold, eternal. The sea is getting louder now, closer, and the lights, they're starting to fail. The clock is running out. Titanic's bow has disappeared beneath the waves, and the stern is rising into the night sky like a monument to hubris. You're clinging to the rail now, feet braced against the sloping deck. All around you, people are scrambling, shouting, slipping. It's no longer orderly. No more calm, no more time. The ship tilts steeper, the angle impossible. You see chairs sliding, people tumbling. Someone clutches a railing, loses their grip, and vanishes into the dark. And then the lights go out. One by one they flicker and die until the ship is wrapped in blackness. Only the stars remain, glittering above the chaos, bright and silent and cruel. You can hear everything now, the groan of steel, the rush of water, the cries of hundreds of voices raised at once, and then a snap, a roar, a thunderous, wrenching sound as the ship breaks. Right in the middle, just aft of the third funnel, the great vessel cracks in two. Metal shrieks like something alive. The stern rises higher, the bow sinks, dragging cables, pipes, and people down with it. For a moment, it almost seems to pause. Then, with a sound like a sigh, the bow slips beneath the surface and is gone. Gone, swallowed by the Atlantic. The stern floats for a few seconds, oddly peaceful, then begins to slide, twisting as it goes. Deck chairs, life belts, luggage, all raining down. A smokestack breaks loose and crashes into the sea. And then the stern follows. The final plunge. A great roar rises as it goes under. A churning wall of water surging up behind it. People are pulled under. Others leap. You leap. The water hits like ice and fire all at once. Your lungs seize. Your limbs lock. You can't scream. Can't think. You kick instinctively, reach for the surface, but the cold is paralyzing. Around you, hundreds more are flailing, shouting, drowning. You break the surface, gasping, eyes wild. The Titanic is gone. All around you is darkness and screaming. The sea is littered with debris. A violin case, a life belt, a child's shoe. People cling to anything they can. But the water is so cold, so endless. The human body was never meant to survive this. You find a piece of wood, pull yourself onto it. Your hands tremble. You listen. The cries are quieter now, farther apart. The sea claims them quickly, one by one. And you just float, eyes toward the sky, waiting. You are still floating. The screams have stopped. Above you, the stars shimmer, distant and indifferent. The same stars that watch the pyramids rise. The same stars that will one day watch the ocean swallow them too. Your breath is ragged, shallow. You don't remember when you stopped shivering. That's how the cold works. Slowly numbing, not just the body, but thought, memory, hope. Time has no shape here. You can't tell how long you've been drifting. Minutes, hours. All around you, the sea is calm again. A mirror of black glass, disturbed only by the soft bobbing of wreckage and the faint sound of voices. Fewer now, fainter. Some are praying, some are calling names that no one answers. The ocean has become a grave, and yet you're still here. Then a light, far off, distant, but real. It cuts through the dark like a promise. You hear a voice calling out, British, clipped from a lifeboat. They circle back, carefully, slowly. Not all boats returned. Some were too full, others were too afraid. But this one does. They pull you aboard. Your limbs barely work. You feel hands on your arms, voices murmuring. Someone wraps you in a blanket, and it's only then that you realize your teeth are chattering again, that you're still alive. You lie at the bottom of the boat, looking up. You see the stars again, clearer now, brighter. You listen to the quiet sobbing of other survivors. A man whispering the Lord's Prayer. A woman clutching an empty coat, rocking back and forth. You're alive, but nothing is the same. The Titanic is gone. Over 1,500 people gone. The richest man in America, immigrant families, children, crew, all of them just vanished into the sea. And now the survivors wait, cold, wet, exhausted, waiting for rescue, for morning, for answers that may never come. A new sound interrupts the silence, the low rumble of a steam engine on the horizon. The Carpathia is coming. You see its lights approaching, golden and warm. Slowly, steadily, the lifeboats are gathered. One by one, people are hoisted aboard, given tea, blankets, medical care. You feel the deck beneath you again, not of the Titanic, but of something safer, something solid. But it doesn't feel like rescue. It feels like loss. The Carpathia turns bound for New York. You leave behind the open ocean and the place where Titanic died. The ocean forgets. Waves rise, waves fall, and the sea rolls on. But we remember, long after the survivors have passed, long after the headlines fade and the salt water has scoured clean the last remaining artifacts. We still remember because Titanic is no longer just a ship. It's a ghost story, a love story, a cautionary tale. It's a name whispered across generations, a tragedy frozen in time. You are no longer in the lifeboat. You are not cold anymore. Now, you are watching from a distance, as if the entire event is a dream playing out behind glass. The dock in Southampton, the clink of silverware in the first-class dining room, the hum of the engines below deck, and then the silence of the sea. You drift through it all like a spirit. You see the people, the real ones, the lost ones. Their stories continue even if their lives were cut short. The band leader who kept playing even as the deck tilted. The baker who swam through the icy water and survived thanks to brandy and stubbornness. The young couple who chose to stay together even if it meant dying together. And you who now carry their story. For a moment, the ship rises again, not from the ocean floor, but from memory. Its grand staircase restored, its chandelier swaying gently. Voices echo from every corridor. Then, like all dreams, it fades. You are left with the stars, still, gentle, infinite. The same stars that once looked down on that ship, that still look down on the wreckage. They do not judge. They only shine. And as your breath slows, as your thoughts soften, you realize something. Titanic never truly sank. Not entirely. It lives in history, in whispers, in the quiet moments before sleep. You're safe now. The story is over, but the sea is still. Let the echoes fade. Let the stars keep watch. There's nothing more to do tonight except rest. Let your thoughts drift like lifeboats, quiet on calm water. Let your breathing slow. Let your body sink into sleep. Tomorrow will come. But for now, you are far away, floating gently beneath the moon, held in silence, wrapped in peace. Sweet dreams.